December 18th, 2024, 6 p.m., meeting room, Seekonk Town Hall, 100 Peck Street, Seekonk, Mass. Where else would it go? Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, subsection 20F requires any person recording must notify chair at the beginning of the meeting. Anybody? No, thank you. All select board meetings are recorded, via audio and video. Call the meeting to order at 6 p.m. Pledge of allegiance, a moment of silence, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Somebody read the board and committee openings, please. Thank you.
Volunteers are needed on the Board of Health, 2 Board of Selectmen positions, Capital Improvement Committee, 2 Board of Selectmen, 2 moderator appointments, Commission on Disability, 5 to 13, Cultural Council, 2 Board of Selectmen, Economic Development Committee, 5 Board of Selectmen, Energy Committee, 4 Board of Selectmen, Finance Committee, 1 moderator, Historical Commission, 3 Board of Selectmen, Recycling Committee, 1 Board of Selectmen, and Zoning Board of Appeals, 1 alternate.
Thank you. Priority matters. Consider the conditional offer of employment for Michael Antunes for the position of conditional building inspector.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. Our building commissioner, Jeff Mello, is coming up with Michael Antunes. So Jeff and I actually interviewed Michael Antunes. Michael's a seasoned contractor with over 22 years of experience. And he's had experience owning and operating his own business, specializing in remodels and in both small and large scale additions. Before launching his contracting career, Michael worked as a project engineer on high profile projects, which include the Bourne and Sagamore Bridges, Portsmouth Naval Shipyard, and the Nantucket Town Marina, and also numerous utility and road construction projects across Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New Hampshire, and Maine. Michael's background in construction began at a young age, working alongside his father in the family construction business. He holds a bachelor's degree in civil engineering and is credentialed as a Massachusetts construction supervisor license, which is a prerequisite to be able to get certified by the state. And he's also registered as a Massachusetts home improvement contractor. So given Michael's extensive experience, technical qualifications, and deep understanding of the building trades, I recommend that the board appoint Michael Antunes as a conditional building inspector. If the board does approve my recommendation or goes along my recommendation, Michael will have 18 months to go through the state certification process to become a local inspector, which is per Massachusetts general law. Michael also did a ride along with Jeff, so he's familiar with what is required of the building inspectors, and obviously being a contractor, I think he's also experienced with what building inspectors do, especially on the projects that he's worked on. So.
Okay, do we have a motion?
Move that the Board of Selectmen appoint Michael Antunes to the position of conditional building inspector, subject to and conditioned upon his successful passage as determined by the town administrator of a pre-employment background employee check, physical examination, drug screening, and completion of all pre-employment paperwork.
Second.
Thank you. And do we have any questions from the board? Nope. Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Okay, consider the conditional offer of employment for Gloria Hernandez Cruz for the position of full-time emergency telecommunications dispatcher. Sorry. Howdy.
I'm just kicking things over there.
That's okay.
Okay, on December 4th, 2024, interviews were held with a panel of 2 individuals who as followed: the Assistant Town Administrator and Human Resource Director, Carol Days, and myself. The evaluations were as follows. Gloria possessed knowledge and experience dispatching in a fast-paced environment for Westcom Regional Dispatch Center in Chicopee, Massachusetts. For a little over a year, Gloria was well-spoken and proud to continue in the profession. The interview panel, I already went over that. I don't need to do that again. Her demeanor and overall impression, she was well-spoken, slightly nervous in the interview. Her experience in dispatching is in line with the needs of the department. She has a positive attitude and is excited to return to dispatching. It is at this time that I'm requesting that Gloria Hernandez Cruz be listed on the select board meeting. And I don't need to go through that as well. After consideration, I'm requesting a conditional offer of employment be given to Gloria Hernandez Cruz for the full-time position of emergency telecommunications dispatcher with Seekonk Public Safety Communications.
Mr. Committee?
My recommendation is as stated by the director.
Okay, can I get a motion?
Move that the Board of Selectmen appoint Gloria Hernandez Cruz to the position of full-time emergency telecommunications dispatcher, subject to and conditioned upon successful passage as determined by the town administrator of a pre-employment background and query check, physical examination, drug screening, psychological evaluation, completion of all pre-employment paperwork, and successful completion of all required certifications to be a 911 telecommunicator for the town.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Any questions from any board member? Seeing none, all in favor? Unanimous.
Congratulations.
Thank you, good luck. Welcome aboard. Welcome. Consider the conditional offer of employment for Ashley Lawrence for the position of Assistant Animal Control Officer. Hi. Ms. Russo?
Good evening.
Good evening.
So, as we know, Ashley was interviewed, October 10th by myself, Mr. Kadeem, and Jessica Blake as a part-time kennel worker. At that time, she had expressed some interest in possibly, being an ACO at some point. So she has completed the training as a kennel worker, and she's been in that position since November 12th. Aside from the, kennel position, she's been shadowing myself and Officer Blake, for a couple of hours, several times a week, to see if it was something that she was interested in. And she is, so we would like to move forward. She's done an exceptional job with computer skills. Are fantastic. Picking up on paperwork. We've had her doing some adoption paperwork, court paperwork, etc. She's doing very well, so I don't see any issues there. She has some previous experience working with Camp Bow Wow, and she still volunteers at the Swansea Animal Shelter. So I do believe that she'll make a good candidate for the assistant ACO.
My recommendation is as stated by the director.
Thank you. Can I get a motion, please?
Yep, move that the Board of Selectmen appoint Ashley Lawrence to the position of Assistant Animal Control Officer with Animal Control, subject to and conditioned upon successful passage as determined by the town administrator of a pre-employment background and query check, physical examination, drug screening, completion of the rabies vaccination series, and all pre-employment paperwork.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Any questions from the board members? Seeing none, even though I'm not looking. All in favor?
Aye.
Carry on. Unanimous. Congratulations. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard again. Yes.
Great job.
Welcome. Consider accepting the donation of $2,500 from Sharon Fisk in memory of Stephen Fisk.
Yes, so, Sharon stopped in and she, gave us the most generous donation in memory of her, late son, who passed in June, her son Stephen. She also brought us a nice picture of her cat, or his cat, Morgan, who brought him quite a bit of comfort while he, wasn't well. And, so she wanted to, pay it forward and
in his memory, and that's a very generous donation. So we also like to extend our most sincere sympathy to their loss and thank them. That money will go a long way to helping the shelter animals.
Thank you. Can I get a motion, please?
I'll make a motion that we accept the donation in the amount of $2,500 from Sharon Fisk.
Second?
Any questions for anyone? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Mrs. Fisk.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Sorry for your loss. Okay. Consider accepting various donations for the animal shelter.
Yes, so this is from September 13th to December 13th, our donations, in the amount of $38.75. And again, as always, we'd like to extend our sympathy to all who have donated in memory of, their loved ones. And, again, we thank them for supporting all the pets at the shelter. One notable donation in that list is, Rocky's Ace Hardware, who donated from their 14th annual pet drive. So that's included in those donations as well.
You mentioned an amount?
For Rockies,
No,
The total.
previous to that, the total. Our total's more than yours, so
there we go.
put your glasses on.
34, 38, 75.
It says
938.
938.75?
Oh, so I had sent this over, but then we received the Fisk donation, so. the
Oh,
Fisk
so you
donation
added to-
Is in with this as well.
Okay, so we already did
Yeah,
the
we did
fists, we'll do this one, okay?
So that was
38.75.
so 938, 75.
Okay, can I get a motion, please?
I'll make a motion that we accept the various donations to the animal shelter, total amount of $938.75.
Second?
Any questions from the board? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Thank you all very much.
Thank you. With the other order, I just wanted to do a little thank you to some people.
Thank you.
So this year we get inundated with kittens. We had, the MSPCA helped us out with spaying and neutering. We had so many, we had to send 30 down to the Cape to be done. But, Officer Blake and all our volunteers worked really hard to get those animals out. We had 32 adoptions from July to November. So, we will probably have another 10 for December. So they worked really hard, especially the volunteers fostering. So I have a volunteer that takes them home and feeds them, bottle feeds them, and all our volunteers that come in and help socialize them. They really did a great job getting those animals out the door. Just want to thank them.
With those 10, that will leave you a lot more left, or if anyone's watching that wants to donate a kitten for
So, yeah, I
For
have,
Christmas?
well, we don't really do Christmas presents, but I do have 6 going out this week, 5 definitely going out this week. And then, but I did, get some more in, so it's kind of,
the revolving door.
yeah. But, it puts us in a good position for the beginning of the year. And so as long as we can empty out as much as we can in case we get hit like that, yeah, that was a tough summer. That
Right.
was bad. But, worked out well, a lot of happy kittens, so.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
You too.
Thank you.
Leaving us already? You want to stay to the end?
I'm good.
Consider accepting the Massachusetts Education and Government Association Work Safety Grant in the amount of $3,366 to help fund the purchase of specialized hearing protection. Hello there.
Hello. Nice to see you.
Just say your name for the recording, please.
Okay, Tracy Jameson, coordinator.
James Halpin, Assistant Superintendent, DPW.
Just briefly, we're requesting that this grant be approved, that we can accept it to buy some safety equipment. In this particular case, I applied for this grant myself because I had gone to a webinar and our workers' comp company has expanded, they're pretty excited about it. They've expanded this grant. It was very small last year. They didn't have much to give, but this year they wanted to just have different requirements. So anyway, once I learned all about that and what it could possibly apply to, I actually went to Jim because, well, he's the expert. I don't know that particular kind, but he had a great idea. and he had all the information for it, so we got the grant right in and got approved, so.
Oh, that's good. Let's just say a little bit of what, the grant might possibly, the safety equipment that we're,
Yes.
So what we chose to go with was, they're going to be arborist style helmets. So with the delivery of our new bucket truck, it's going to allow for, and they have Bluetooth communication, it's going to allow for communication for guys that are able to do it either through noise or ambient truck noise, I would say. So we're just trying to keep the guys safe. Hand signals don't work sometimes when they're not all on the same page, and Frank likes to talk with his hands, so we're gonna try and avoid that. So, they can be used in more situations than just the bucket truck, but, that was just the idea we had.
so this is a helmet
It is a
that
safety
actually
helmet.
has a hearing protection with Bluetooth, connectivity
Yes.
to whoever else is wearing another helmet with the same thing. Do we know how many that you're able to, purchase maybe with this grant?
I believe we should be able to get 8 of them.
Oh, that's good.
You know, we anticipated we wanted 12, but we can start off with the 8 and we'll move forward from there.
Great. Can I get a motion, please?
Make a motion to accept the Massachusetts Education Government Association Mega Work Safety Grant in the amount of $3,366 to help fund the purchase of specialized hearing protection for the Department of Public Works.
Second.
Anybody have any other questions for our people here? Yes, no, oh, seeing none? Chris, you,
I'm good.
okay. All in favor? You said something, I don't understand.
Aye.
Oh, everybody good? Aye. Aye. Come on, answer me. All in
We're good.
favor?
We're good.
Yeah, good, okay. Unanimous. Thank you very much.
Nice.
You too. Speak up. Community speaks. Anybody from the community want to say something to us? Come on, Mr. Alves, step right up. Wow.
Been a long time.
I know. I always pick on you and now you have something to say.
No, just actually, I attended the tree lighting, if you will, and whoever was in charge of it and the number of in-town employees that worked it, it was a delightful event, well attended, and congratulations to whoever coordinated that and made it work like that. And that's, I was just amazed at the turnout as well.
Yeah, we'll make sure that the coordinators get your,
Nice job.
Yep.
Thanks, John.
Chris Tester and Catherine Tester, that was,
Lovely job.
Yeah.
phenomenal job.
great. Okay, anybody else? Everybody good? Okay, general business license hearing. Consider the request from A&R Family Entertainment doing business as Smash and Splash for 11 coin operated machines at 1275 Forward Ave. Come on down.
Hello,
Hi, what's your name, sir, for the
name's Elvis Esquire.
Elvis Escona, you're the one that
Yes.
filled this out? Okay. Do we have any, questions for this?
Do you have any machines there now, or?
Yeah, we have, we're waiting for one more, but they have to fix a couple of them, so they're fixing them.
Coin-operated machines as well?
These are not, they're basically coin operated, but they're gonna be with a card.
Oh,
So it's not gonna be like cash. Digital. Okay.
Video games for people at home that are just, the video games, the cores and all that.
There's 2 basketball machines, there's
Okay.
a puncher, a boxer, 2 motorcycles, a lot of clothes, and then
So there's a variety of them, and then after if we approve this 11, how many will you have total?
11
Oh, just the 11? Oh,
Yes.
okay.
for now.
So you don't have any there now?
There's I think there's 8 or 9 of them there now.
They're not open though.
Yeah, we're not.
Yeah, he took delivery of the machine.
They took-
Gotcha,
They're not
okay,
open.
I meant, I'm sorry, my bad question. How many do you actually have in your facility working now? None,
Yeah.
you don't already have any, okay.
Oh, okay.
I thought these were being added to these.
I get it, yep, yeah. Okay, any other questions? Nope. The process is just to, Mr. Kadim is just to approve the license
Yep.
and Okay, someone give me a motion, please?
I make a motion that we accept the request from A&R Family Entertainment doing business as Smash and Splash for 11 coin operated machines at 1275 Fall River Ave.
Second?
So any further questions? By any chance? No, seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous.
Good luck.
Have fun. Good luck.
Thank you.
Consider the request for an extension of time for a Canterbury host community agreement. Howdy. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. Familiar face? What?
And we have a new face with us.
Yes, I know. But can I have your names, please, for the recording?
My name is William Davis, and I'm an attorney at Brainsby Levinson LLC here in town. Bo Acres, and at the same firm.
Okay, explain yourself.
Yes. So tonight I'm here on behalf of our client Canterbury LLC, whose property is located at 32 Hollister Road. And it's set to be used as a marijuana cultivation and manufacturing facility. And tonight we're requesting an extension of their host community agreement to extend to December 31st of 2025. And section 13 of the host community agreement, as it stands now, allows for an extension of time for the HCA as long as they have good cause. And the good cause is, for lack of a better term, financial in nature. Their application right now is still pending with the Cannabis Control Commission. It's frankly a bit of a long process. They're looking at marketing and transferring some of their assets. They have some third-party interests, and they'll eventually need approval from this board to transfer their HCA to a new company at a later date. But at this time, they're just looking for the extension of the host community agreement.
Okay, William, can I have your last name again, please?
Davis?
Thank you. Okay, do we have any questions from the board?
I have a question. So a while ago, you guys came back, they were looking for a 6-month extension due to something at the state level was holding up, I guess, a bunch of marijuana. So this extension has nothing to do with the state holding you guys up? Have you said financial, like their finance?
Yes, specific financial reasons related to Cannabis LLC, but it is still pending. They haven't pulled their application with the Cannabis Control Commission.
Okay, so if the, okay.
So technically, so I get this, so I understand it correctly, you guys want to hold on, you want an extension to hold on to the host agreement with the opportunity, potentially you guys could transfer or sell it to somebody,
That's,
potentially to a third party,
yes.
as stated in, as I read your letter here.
Yes.
The business and assets itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
Unfortunately, that would need approval by the select board.
Yeah, I understand that part, but
Yeah.
but pretty much that's where you're at. You're still going forward with the state application, which we granted you a 6-month extension last time due to regulations that changed with the state, but this is also now added in that there's a potential financial issue with the host agreement owners, Canterbury, potentially looking to sell some of their assets to a third party.
And there are interested parties. They don't have the names of them at the time.
I just wanted to
It
clarify
would give
that.
them time to market and make that happen, and then, any amendments to the HCA per the revisions, the CCC would obviously be done, contemporaneous with that.
So the note here says it's going to table its pending application, so it's not going to continue going through with it? Is that what table,
They're not pulling the application, I think,
but what does table mean then? Table mean it's,
well, it's still pending, so it's kind of sitting there with the CCC.
Yeah.
So, I believe that, from my understanding, the applicant would then, if these third parties are interested in acquiring their assets in the business, would, push forward, with the CCC to get this, completed.
So basically, it's on hold. And then if they get it to somebody else to take it over, then they can go. This is taking forever.
Yeah.
The state would have to approve whoever they're trying to bring in, right, third party?
Yeah, they would have
They,
to.
Yeah,
The state-
they'd have to go through everything.
They would have to go through the whole process again. So yeah, we have to approve it too.
right.
So,
This-
I'm sorry.
Is there any kind of a parameters that says that the town can keep extending this host agreement for Canavers? Or at some point are they not able to extend anymore?
No, there's no statutory requirement that puts a limit. It's really up to the board to make that decision. Because the community host agreement is what established
Right.
the deadline. So
Right.
you can continue it, push it out as much as you want.
But we also could deny the extension.
No, right, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then was that your question?
Yeah,
I guess-
it's taken such a long time that I was just wondering, are they trying to hold on to it to, I don't know, stop somebody else from, we have to give them a license to open this place, and the town only has one. So now we're pushing this thing out again. I just, I don't know if there's anybody else interested or whatever. If they decide they want this, whoever the third party, it looks like they not only get, or would have to take the host community agreement and the building, right? Or is that,
Yeah, so I think the issue you run into, if you do not extend it with this company, then yes, you free up the license. Somebody coming in would have to have property where they're gonna establish this facility. So there's no, I guess at that point, we'd be assuming that they'd be looking to buy it from these folks, because they've got the property in the building.
right?
So I think one question I had was, when you're talking about the sale, is it a complete sale, or are they just looking to sell a portion of their ownership?
I'm not sure if it's a complete sale, of the ownership, because I don't have the answer for
Okay,
it.
I was just curious. Because Metro Harvest did something similar where they brought in I guess what I would say a third partner, because there was two partners in that.
Yeah.
And then they changed the corporation name.
And what would be the ramifications if the board only decided to extend it for 6 months?
No,
Um,
not on our behalf.
No, I'm asking. I know you guys, you want a year, but what if we only decide to extend it for 6 months? It just, I don't know, it just seems funny to me, that's all.
It's our discretion, Madam Chair, to set the amount of time. So if you want 6 months, I'll make a motion to do 6 months instead of giving them until the end of December of 2025.
You gonna speak up? You gonna say that I'm totally wrong and please don't, Rick, go ahead.
We would still appreciate that extension because that would at least give our clients some of the time to look at marketing and transferring its business assets.
Okay, and then,
They could always come back for another 6 months. if
Yeah.
they want to, yeah.
well, that I know, it's just,
Endlessly.
yes. Okay, anybody else?
So if I'm not mistaken, I believe for this license, 3 companies came in front of this board to try to get the license. The board chose them, then there was a 6 months extension due to a state issue. Now they're looking for possibly a year for something on their end now. I'm sure those 2 other companies that were looking to have the license, I'm sure they've moved on. So I don't know if, so to deny it wouldn't make sense in my eyes, because there's no one else knocking at the door for the license that we know of, but I didn't agree to the 6 months. We'll see how it plays out.
6
Instead of a
months.
year.
Give me a motion.
I make a motion to approve an extension of 6 months of time for Canaverse host community agreement, which will expire on, can we say June 30th of 2025? Or unless you want to go back and we're almost at the end.
No, I just wanna make sure it's the June 30th. the
We're almost
date.
at- we're almost at the end of December, so.
Well, yeah, this one was supposed to end on December 31st, so.
Okay, that's my motion.
Okay,
Second.
second. Any other questions from the board? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, unanimous. You got the date, June 30th, 2025. See you then? Or before? Or before? Okay, great, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. 2025 license renewal hearing, approval condition upon compliance with Old Town bylaws. We did read a lot of these at the last meeting, and I neglected to explain to people a little bit about this, and it will be a little. I'd just like you to know that we are given a list of the license renewals. But before they get to this point, these licenses have been vetted extensively from the town administrator's office, in order for them to have all the proper paperwork and all the proper fees paid and everything. This year, they're switching from paper being handed in to everything being done on computer. So some people were having a little bit of trouble back and forth trying to get that done. As of next year, everything is gonna be computerized, so we're hoping that it comes a little bit easier. So I'm not just reading these names, I have to read these names for the record, but please be advised that before they get to us and to this point, all these people have been approved, the paperwork's been approved, and as long as they're in compliance with all town bylaws, they will get their licenses. So we will start with, class 1 motor vehicles. Hold on.
Want to do an order on the papers?
Hold on. What's that?
So you can just do an order on how they show up here and make it easy for you.
Yeah, but this is amusement, I got amusement first.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
My paper's out of order. Class 1 motor vehicles, Consolidated Truck and Equipment Incorporated, 1727 Fall River Avenue, Herb Chambers 44 Incorporated, doing business as Herb Chambers Honda of Seekonk, 185 Taunton Avenue, New England Golf Cars, 62 Industrial Way, Wright Trailers Incorporated, 1825 Fall River Avenue.
Move that the select board approve the renewal of the annual licenses listed with the stipulation that they are in compliance with all state and town bylaws and building and fire codes.
Do you want me to read all of them? Just go through all of them and do one big motion at the end?
We can do that.
I can do that.
Yeah.
All right, thanks for all the talking, I have to do it good. Okay, class 2 motor vehicle licenses, Price Right Auto Sales Incorporated, 48 Case Avenue, Seekonk Petroleum Incorporated, 984 River Avenue, Emotion Motorsports LLC, 1424 River Avenue, Wayside Auto Sales Company Incorporated, 1651 to 1655 Fall River Avenue, Consolidated Trucking and Equipment, 1727 Fall River Avenue, Ocean State Towing and Recovery, 1849 Fall River Avenue, T&K Auto Body, 1849 Fall River Avenue, A&N Auto Body, 32 Industrial Court, Gas on the Run, 1075 Newman Avenue, New England Collisions Incorporated, 4504 Fall River Road, Trustworthy Auto LLC, 10 Highland Avenue, All Mobile Towing, 102B Pond Street, Mass RI, 87 Taunton Avenue, Kenneth Provost, doing business as Leah's Auto, 303 Woodward Avenue. That's the class 2 motor vehicles. Class 3 motor vehicles, A&N Auto Body Incorporated, doing business as Seekonk Auto Body, 32 Industrial Court, New England Collision Incorporated, 4504 River Avenue, Trustworthy Auto, 246 Pine Street. Amusement facilities, place of public amusement. Okay, American Legion Post 311, 351 Fall River Avenue, Black Spot, doing business as Monster Mini Golf, 140 Taunton Avenue, Blazing Wings Incorporated, doing business as Buffalo Wild Wings, 120 Highland Avenue, Bristol County Stadium, doing business as Seekonk Speedway, 1782 Fall River Avenue, Four Echoes Stone Coast Community Church, doing business as Four Echoes at Gristmill Pond, 944 River Avenue. Jeannie's Palm and Tarot Card Reading, 632 Fall River Avenue, MP Milling Company, doing business as Old Gristmill Tavern, 390 Fall River Avenue, NAI Entertainment Holdings LLC, doing business as Showcase Cinema, Route 6 Theater and Amusement, 100 Commerce Way, Seekonk Lodging LLC, doing business as Ramada Inn, 213 Taunton Avenue, A&R Family Entertainment, doing business as Smash and Splash, 1275 Fall River Avenue, Teamworks, 1314 Fall River Avenue, Osamequin Farm, 80 Walnut Street, McCall Country Club, 354 River Avenue. Regular just amusement machines. Hold on. Amusement machines, American Legion Incorporated Post 311, 351 Fall River Avenue, Black Spot LLC, doing business as Monster Mini Golf, 140 Taunton Avenue, Blazing Wings Incorporated, doing business as Buffalo Wild Wings, 120 Highland Avenue, NAI Entertainment Holdings, doing business as Showcase Cinemas, Seekonk, Route 6, 100 Commerce Way, Seekonk Grand Prix Incorporated, 1098 Fall River Avenue, National Entertainment Network LLC, doing business as Ollie's, 140 Taunton Avenue, Teamworks 1314 Fall River Avenue. Then we have alcohol. Is that
Yeah, it's gonna be all alcohol.
this one here?
Yep.
All alcohol club licenses, Seekonk Columbus Court doing business as Knights of Columbus, Seekonk Council 5108 32 Arcade Avenue, Ledgemont Country Club 131 Brown Avenue.
And then all alcohol.
All alcohol in holder licenses, Seekonk Lodging LLC doing business as Ramada Inn 213 Taunton Avenue. All alcohol licenses. DAAN LLC doing business as West Wind Restaurant, 555 Central Avenue. MP Milling Company doing business as Old Grist Mill Tavern, 394 River Avenue. Apple New England LLC doing business as Applebee's, 105 Highland Avenue. Outback Steakhouse, 1301 Fall River Avenue. The Luxury Box Incorporated, 354 River Avenue. CABB LLC doing business as Boneyard Saloon, 540 Central Avenue. Casey's Burger Bar doing business as Max Original Pizza Pub, 1379 Fall River Avenue. Rear Hospitality Incorporated doing business as Longhorn Steakhouse number 5518, 80 Highland Avenue. Blazing Wings Incorporated doing business as Buffalo Wild Wings, 120 Highland Avenue. Mizu Asian Bistro, 1165 Fall River Avenue. Mediterranean Grill and Pizzeria or Seekonk, 547 Central Avenue. Annual, wait a second, I don't want to miss anything.
Wine and malts.
Okay, Wine and Malt, Bristol County Stadium doing business as Seekonk Speedway, 1782 Fall River Avenue. MNA Food Services Incorporated doing business as Baker's Corners Pizza, 1511 Newman Avenue. Popular Pizza LLC doing business as Popular Pizza, 24 Olney Street. Brothers Seafood Restaurant, 6 Olney Street. All,
I'm sorry, I
what?
missed the Veterans Club license too. That was the one.
Oh. Okay.
That was the American Legion.
That's all right. Veterans Club licenses, the American Legion and Seekonk Incorporated, post number 311, 351 Fall River Avenue. All alcohol package store, Johann Spirits doing business as Wynn's Liquors Incorporated, 21 Brook Street. Mahler NATO Incorporated doing business as Landry Liquors, 134 Central Avenue. Seekonk Liquors Incorporated doing business as Chris Gasparo's Fine Wines and Spirits, 98 Highland Avenue. Aruja Liquors Limited doing business as Regency Liquors, 301 Taunton Avenue. Wine and Malt Package Store, Mormax Corporation doing business as BJ's Wholesale Club, 175 Highland Avenue. Sam's Food Stores Incorporated doing business as DB Mart, 313 1035 Newman Avenue. Your Gagel Incorporated doing business as Oak Hill Mini Mart, 545 Central Avenue. Tony Seafood, 1365 Fall River Avenue. Priya Fuel Corp, 960 Fall River Avenue. Global Montello Group Corp. doing business as Global Montello Group, number 785, 822 Fall River Avenue. Okay, that's alcohol. Annual member. Why not these things in all?
First page.
Oh. Annual mobile food cart license, A+ Kettle Corn, 41 Massasoit Avenue, East Providence, Rhode Island. Tim Spalding doing business as Tim's Lunchbox, 70 Leslie Street, Cranston, Rhode Island. Triple S Barbecue, 72 Mink Street. Antiques and second-hand licenses.
Third page. It says amusement, but it should say antiques.
Where?
Over here.
Which one? This one?
It should say antiques, not amusement.
Oh. Antiques and second-hand licenses. Amanda Orifice doing business as Amanda Lynn's Antiques, 644 River Avenue. Four Echoes Stone Coast Community Church doing business as Four Echoes at the Grist Mill Pond, 384 River Avenue. GameStop, 45 Commerce Way. Okay, now where am I finding Commerce Victrola? Lots of them. Okay, and the last one, Common Victrola license, Chick-fil-A, 1100 Fall River Avenue, Nicoletti's Restaurant, 1053 Newman Avenue, Drizzly Mike Subs, 20 Commerce Way, Cousins Pizza, 21 Brook Street, Ped Nutrition, 140 Central Avenue, Subway, 142 Central Avenue, SPCAP Honeydew, 156 Central Avenue, Crazy Corner Bagel and Deli, 23 Circle Drive, Starbucks Coffee number 7692, 2 Commerce Way. Pokemoto, 7 Commerce Way, Taco Bell, 11 Commerce Way, Target Store, Starbucks, 79 Commerce Way, Seekonk Swim and Tennis Club, 255 Davis Street, Vangeli 77 LLC, Dunkin' Donuts, 623 Fall River Avenue, Newport Creamery, number 11, 701 Fall River Avenue, Provolone Italian Kitchen, 717 Fall River Avenue, Bentley Donuts LLC, Dunkin' Donuts, 822 Fall River Avenue, Burger King, 1009 Fall River Avenue, Orange Leaf, 1080 Fall River Avenue, Five Guys, 1080 Fall River Avenue, Chow Time, 1080 Fall River Avenue, Seekonk Grand Prix, 1098 Fall River Avenue, Antonio's Pizza, 1200 Fall River Avenue, Nancy Donuts LLC, Dunkin' Donuts, 1200 Fall River Avenue, Subway, 1201 Fall River Avenue, Eats Restaurant, 1395 Fall River Avenue, Hamilton Diner, 1641 Fall River Avenue, Seekonk Nutrition, 757 Fall River Avenue, Costas Donuts LLC, Dunkin' Donuts, 4 Highland Avenue, Wendy's, 8 Highland Avenue, D'Angelo Grilled Sandwiches, 120 Highland Avenue, Raising Cane's Restaurant, 175 Highland Avenue, McDonald's, 250 Fall River Avenue, Quality Inn, 341 Highland Avenue, Best Western Hotel, 45 Mink Street, Lemon and Oil Deli, 75 Mink Street, unit number 8, Seekonk Donuts, Dunkin' Donuts, 1035 Newman Avenue, D's Lectables, 10 Taunton Avenue, Pronova LLC, Dunkin' Donuts, 198 Fall River Avenue, Honeydew Donuts, 421 Fall River Avenue, Chipotle, 35 Highland Avenue, Panera Bread, 211 Highland Avenue, Boneyard, 540 Central Avenue, Mary's Motor Lodge, 1159 Fall River Avenue. Ooh, that's it. Yay! I didn't miss anything, right?
No.
Now I'll make the motion.
Now make the motion,
Move
please.
that the select board approve the renewal of the annual licenses listed with the stipulation that they are in compliance with all state and town bylaws and building and fire codes.
Second. Any questions? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Unanimous, thank you very much. Now, you can only imagine the work that went into that, doing all that paperwork. Okay. Discussion of scheduling of 2025 select board meetings. I had, Chris and I, Mrs. Tester and I went and looked over the schedule because with February school vacation and April school vacation, we have board members that do travel in those weeks, and instead of having to worry about whether I'm going to have a quorum or not, we're gonna skip over those weeks and reschedule. So, we're gonna post these on the website. Yes, Sean? So our next meeting is gonna be Wednesday, January 8th, then January 22nd, then February 5th. Then we're going to the 26th of February, March 12th, March 26th, April 9th, and then April 30th. And then hopefully after that, get into a regular meeting schedule. Let's hope. We will post these, but if you're going on April school vacation and you're worried that you're gonna miss our meeting, don't worry, we're not having one. We're gonna skip it. So everybody can make plans to go away. Any questions, any statements? Everybody good?
That's for me.
Good. Okay, we're all good. Okay, we did that. Consider the approval of the TV9 contract. Yes, I do.
So Madam Chairwoman, so the contract that you have before us was what was approved and discussed with the board in executive session. The TV9 board has voted and approved, and we have a signed contract. They did that last night. So just need the board to approve the contract as was submitted in executive session.
I make a motion to approve the TV9 contract.
Second.
Any questions by anybody? All in favor?
Aye.
You're unanimous. And to make it official.
And then, Madam Chairwoman, the next vote, even though the grant agreement does specify that TV9 is the public access provider, Just want to take a formal vote to make sure that we capture that and designate them as Seekonk's TV9 PEG access provider.
I make a motion that we designate TV9 as a public education and government PEG access provider.
Second. Any questions by anybody? All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous.
Madam Chair, all I'd like to say is, to everybody that was involved in the negotiations, from the beginning to the end, there was plenty of back and forth, there was ups and downs, but we finally got to a good agreement. I believe that works for both sides. So I want to thank everybody that was involved.
Yes, thank you very much. And,
Question,
question?
does that mean Channel 9 and 15 will be back on the air at what time?
That was my question,
2 days.
John.
According to the agreement, Mr. Dallas, they have 2 days. So by our next meeting, I'm sure that they will be being televised in next meeting.
Smiling faces on television.
If that's what you want to call it.
I hope you don't watch us on television too, Mr. Alves, are here every week. Okay, no, this is a great thing for the town, it's good, I'm glad it's been done. Okay, we have another spot for community speaks, if anybody, Mr. Seekonk, please. Just state your name for the record, okay?
Sure.
Even though I,
Gary Sagar, I am here in my individual capacity as a president, not
yay,
in my
okay,
official capacity. So,
official resident capacity?
yes, I want to have a brief discussion of a previous bylaw that was enacted when the board was selected that I sat on, championed. It was one of the first big projects that Mr. Kadim worked on when he arrived in 2014, and that is having one permanent building committee for all town projects. Just briefly, when the board that I sat on wanted to champion that, we went to every board and commission in this building. We met with the board of library trustees, we met with the school committee, and we had buy-in with everybody. Mr. Kadim, I think you did a lot of all the drafting for it, and with a lot of work that put into it. And then a few years later, and I still don't know the real reason why, but it was eliminated and they wanted to go back to the system we have now that, as far as I'm concerned, is broken and doesn't work anymore. So I'm going to provide you tonight, which is copies of that bylaw. And it's a lot to read, and probably not everybody's familiar with it, obviously. And I would welcome the opportunity to come back in a month or so, and we can have a further discussion.
You have that stuff with you?
I do.
Okay.
And I would also like, because it kind of has a segue, if you would extend me the courtesy when Mr. Kadim gives his report on the PPW, if I could just make a couple of brief comments.
When he does?
Yes, after he does.
No, I prefer you to do it now.
Want me to do it now?
Because once we get to the end there, we don't usually take input on our reports and comments, so. Make sure you include one for Mr. Sullivan.
Yeah,
Make sure-
I think I got it.
All right, I'll make sure he gets one.
Okay. So,
Thank you. Just, yeah, make sure Sean gets one and he's not last.
Yeah, make sure Sean gets one.
Go ahead, no, go right ahead, just, go ahead. This had nothing to do with it.
So, well, think of it. On the day of the ballot question for the debt exclusion, I just had the gut feeling it wasn't gonna happen. And I took on my own initiative and I drove to a business here in town and hoping that I could meet briefly with the owner. And I was lucky to catch him just as he was exiting. And I inquired about the possibility of the property that he owns being for sale. And within a 5-minute conversation, he told me it could be. I went back a few days later and took a tour of it. And then I reached out to Mr. Kadim and Mr. Cabral. and the town planner, and we had scheduled a meeting to go back a couple weeks ago just to take a look at it and tour it. Mr. Kadim was ill and did not attend, but I was there with Mr. Cabral and Mr. Warren. I think it would lend itself perfectly to be part of the DPW, and we spent roughly $1.8 million in a 5-year journey to try to get a DPW, and we've got less on the show for it than we did 5 years ago. So, I hope to go back with Mr. Kadim maybe in a few weeks and get some more definitive answers, and I would appreciate it if, I just want to let you people know what's, and I told the guy when I walked in there, I said, John Q. Citizen, I have no authority to be here other than just to make an inquiry. And so I think it's best that, we don't disclose at this point what the location is, but I just think that we have to keep this thing actively going because they need a new facility. It's sad when I just recently learned that the building that should have been torn out by now is already, has to have some structural repairs done. So we're taking more money into something that I would say maybe, well, I won't say that because the fire chief's here. But anyway, so Merry Christmas to everybody, and I'll see you again.
Yep.
soon.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else from the public under community speaks? Seeing no one, discussion of topics within 48 hours, I have nothing. Town administrators report.
So the DPW building committee met, for the last time last week, just to, review final invoices, discuss the closing of the project, potential, discussion about how to proceed, and similar conversations that the board had, 2 weeks ago, at your board meeting to talk about essentially that the process would, regardless of which direction we move in, we would have to start completely over in terms of procurement and things of that nature. So, that was officially the last meeting. So, I would just leave it up to the board if you want to keep this item on the agenda, or do we want to just have a general topic of conversation in terms of how we want to proceed moving forward. But I guess outside of this update, I think this is the official update, that final update that I would have for.
So the committee's still formed, right? They're not disbanded into the
Correct.
committee, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I would like to at least have a conversation with the committee and figure out, options that they might have, what they might have looked at, because we don't know everything that they looked at. And if they're willing to revamp it, if there are other options out there, I'm more than welcome to discuss them. So I would like to see it, I don't know if we do it in the executive session, if that's an executive session item or open.
No, it would have to be open, which you want. So I think I know that's essentially outside of the scope, but I think the OPM would be willing to have a conversation with us. So we can include him if that's what the board would want. I think that might be helpful in terms of, the planning and designing aspects that we have, so.
I agree. Yeah, I don't want to.
I don't know that we need the architect, but I think the OPM could.
No, but I don't want to drop, so many times we do buildings and then when it gets rejected, people drop it. We need it. So, okay, we understand that the town doesn't want that one, doesn't want to spend that much money, but we have to do something, so we gotta keep talking about it. We gotta do it. We gotta figure out a way, to get it done, because they are working in horrible conditions.
So we can have a joint meeting with the building committee. Okay, we'll take that.
Write that down. I don't usually take comments, but do you have one?
Not a comment, ma'am, I have a question.
Oh,
Do you know how much money remains in what was approved to be spent on DPW?
a couple thousand.
Yeah,
6,000?
I thought I was gonna say 8,000.
Yeah.
6 or 8,000.
Yeah,
8,000?
Yeah, that's not a whole lot.
Will they be able to use that? If, say we do move forward, will they be able to utilize that funding because it's left over?
They could, because it's like funds.
Yeah,
So we would be able to transfer it over.
perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But if not, we're also borrowing for it. So if we don't need it, we wouldn't borrow the entire amount, so.
Okay.
good, okay. Board of Selectmen liaison reports and then comments. Accounts payable warrant has been signed, 540 Arcade Avenue Building Committee report. This will be taken off for the next one because as of December 31st, the 540 Arcade Avenue Building Committee for Phase 2, as I said at the town meeting, will be dissolved at the end of the year. TV9 liaison report, oh, that's Mr. Sullivan. You got all the report you need. At this point.
Contracts.
Yes, everything is good. Bristol County Advisory Board,
There was a quick 10-minute Zoom meeting on December 5th to discuss one topic, which was the memorandum of agreement with Teamsters Union Local Number 59. It was to settle a one-year contract agreement. It was approved. They will be getting a 2.5% salary increase. And for those who were not eligible for a step increase, will be getting a one-time $500 stipend. And that contract was retroactive back to July 1st and goes until June 30th, 2025.
and that the local number 15
Teamsters Union Local Number 59.
is, who's that covered? Others.
I wanted to say it was like secretaries and stuff, but I don't remember.
Okay,
I didn't write it down, so.
all right, I was just curious. Did you respond to me? Well, no, we're not gonna respond on that because he's not here. Okay, so you got the public library feasibility study building assessment?
Actually, I can provide a quick update on the Madera Swamp if you like.
Oh,
So, the consultant has put together 3 options based on, board input and then public comment input. So the next discussion point is having the, committee actually just reviewing all 3, highlighting what they like on each plan, and submitting their final comments to the design consultant. So they can put one total design together, and then we'll have one additional public hearing to be able to present that. So, we'll just be waiting on that. The public hearing date hasn't been set, for that, so there's gonna be some discussion back and forth on what is like, what's not like at the next meeting.
do you know when the next meeting is?
I do not.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's all right. The Seekonk Public Library feasibility study building assessment.
No new updates, it's just like as Mr. Kadim reported last meeting, the Library Board of Trustees is looking to prepare for a presentation end of January, beginning of February timeframe to the board.
Oh, to us?
To us, yeah.
Oh, great. Okay, comments? Mr. Zara,
Not at this time.
Mrs. Posey,
I have nothing at this time.
Mr. Healy?
Other than Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and everybody be safe. I'm good.
Okay, well, I have a couple.
Shocker.
But I have some sad news and some good news. First sad news, in case people don't know this, I don't know how they would. We have an I think 100-year town business that is closing as of Sunday, Country Kitchen here on 44. The Chanley family is now retiring and they will be closing their doors on the 22nd, which is Sunday. If you get a chance, go by and wish them well. And we do wish them well, and hopefully, who knows what's gonna come up next on Country Kitchen, but they've fed a lot of employees and they were always good for people who worked crazy hours. I remember when I worked midnight to 8, I'd go in at 8 o'clock in the morning and he'd feed me dinner. And people were there eating eggs and all that, and I was in there having dinner because, you know, you work midnight to 8, you eat funny. So they were always good, and if you ever got a call and you had to run out the door and not pay, it didn't matter because he knew that the next time you came in, you'd pay. So he did a lot of catering, he did all our elections and everything. Sorry to see him go, but we wish him well on his retirement. The next business that is closing is the Showcase Cinema on Commerce Way. Their last day is January 5th. And I, for one, am very sad about that because I am a card holder of the Showcase and I go frequently. I like watching movies on the huge big screen and having my bag of popcorn and enjoying it thoroughly. So if you want to go in and say goodbye to them, that's nice. But on a happy note, from what I understand, Market Basket is going to replace the Showcase there. And from someone from the north end, which I am, I go to Market Basket in South Attleboro all the time. And you South Enders will love it when they come in. Also, I had the privilege of going to a groundbreaking for the Black Goose Market that is on Route 114A, that is being done by the Darling Group. I'm sure if you go down, you go by the highway, you've seen that construction, which is going well. And there, I have to say, I know when it's done, I saw all the sketches and everything, and, you know that if the Darling Group does business in this town, that when they're done, they care about what it looks like at the end, so it improves immensely the looks of the town. So we wish them luck. They seem to be going really well. And there, for those people who don't want to go to Market Basket, they can go to Whole Foods, because Whole Foods is coming in. So now, South Enders, you have a choice, and now I get to travel over there. And we all know that the bridge in Rhode Island is gonna be fixed one of these days, and you don't have to go over the bridge to go to Whole Foods. So that's gonna be a great addition too. I also went to the tree lighting, as Mr. Al said, and it was a great attendance. We had a lot of people. We're very thankful for the people at the grist mill and those businesses there that did their tree lighting the weekend before. Last year, we did it on the same weekend, and we went directly into discussions with them. Could we possibly do it 2 separate weekends so that people could go to both, which I did. I went to both, and I'm sure a lot of other people did too. So thank you very much to those business owners for allowing that to happen, and thank you for everybody for coming. And one of these days, I'll learn how to make cotton candy. I also went to the high school concert. All of you that may have missed it. It was last Tuesday. It was fantastic, I've got to tell you. They went to concert and they played wonderfully under the direction of Daniel Sneezik. And it was a great time. I'm telling you, you don't have to have kids in school to go to these things, and they're always posted on the front. I'm sure they're posted on the town their school website too. But I always see it because I go up and down Arcade Avenue a million times. Human Services would like to thank everybody that contributed to the Christmases for kids and the food and everything that our families are receiving, so that nobody, misses out for the holidays. They had a great outpour and things went really well with toys and families and everything. I also had the privilege of going to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts Municipal Police Training Committee graduation exercises on Friday, December 6th. And it was great. It was a nice, that place is it's just absolutely beautiful. We have 3 new officers that are on duty now, learning the ropes, and hopefully they'll stay forever. Wouldn't that be nice? Congratulations to them and good luck. Good luck. I know what it's like to be a newbie. From the town clerk's office, town election in 2025 it will be April 7th. And why do we need a town election? We need it because we have 1 seat for the Board of Assessors, 3 seats for the Library Board of Trustees, 3 seats for the Planning Board, 2 seats for the School Committee, 1 seat for the Select Board, and 1 seat for the Water Commission. In order to fill those seats, the people that are running have to be elected. Candidates can pick up nomination papers starting December 18th. Deadline to submit nomination papers is Friday, February 4th. Deadline for candidates to withdraw if they change their mind and they don't want to be on the ballot is March 5th. And anyone who is not registered to vote, the deadline to register to vote in this town election on April 7th is March 28th. And please, everybody, register to vote and vote. And I hope everybody that knows how who's online and saying all these wonderful things about our town and how greatly it's being run, that they will take out their papers and get on boards and committees and run for these seats. We need people, please. I also received this letter, looks like a registered certified mail from National Grid. And it's a copy of an environmental monitor notice, which basically, after reading this, means that they control the vegetation around their equipment and lines by spraying. So, they spray in the right-of-way corridors and plotted locations of known sensitive areas. So I know I will be giving this to our health agent to make sure that he knows all about the exactly, it's called right-of-way vegetation management. I didn't have a chance to talk to him about it, but I will be, so we can make sure that whatever they're spraying is not sprayed in sensitive areas to do any kind of damage to the surrounding areas. Other than that, I wish everybody a happy holiday. I wish you a Merry Christmas, because that is what I celebrate, and I hope everybody has a great time, gets a lot of presents, eats lots of food. Okay, I'll take a motion. Wait, let's see what time it is. 7:05. I'll take a motion to adjourn at 7:05, to enter into executive session to reconvene an open session for potential contract approval, to conduct strategy sessions with respect to negotiations with the superintendent of public works per Mass General Law, Chapter 38, subsection 28(2), as having a discussion in open session would be detrimental to the litigation or bargaining position of the town.
So moved, Michael Healy.
Second.
Michael Healy, aye.
Capozzi, aye.
Chris Orr, aye.
Michelle Hines, aye, unanimous. See you at the next board meeting, January 8th, on the air. Yay, on air. Excellent. Thank you, thank you. Chief, you got a minute? No, fire chief, I meant fire chief.